Hi, this is Steve Gould, InRoom Connections. I'm coming to you on our second talk. This topic is going to be about the revolution that's happened in the last 2 years with your Wi-Fi networks. The title of this is Your Hotel Wi-Fi Guest Network is Failing the Guest at this point. Absolutely failing. And you're getting a lot of answers from a lot of different people. We're going to try and pare this down. Basically, InRoom Connections began in 2002. That was the advent of Wi-Fi. It's when it became truly available and commercial in the marketplace. That's when we started. Been through a great revolution, and just recently things have gone nuts. A lot of vendors are selling a lot of different answers to the problem. Thought we would take you with down a road that helps you understand why you're getting all these different answers. The short answer is historically where we came from. 2002, 1 out of 5 people carried a laptop computer. Now, laptops are fantastic. They have a huge battery. Their radio is about 100 milliwatts, very powerful. And they talk constantly on the network because that's what they're built to do as a computer. Half the time they're plugged in, but they're essentially a computing device, full-up operating system. Over the next 10 years, from 2002 to about 2012, basically all we saw in the environment were more notebook computers, and went from 1 out of 5 to about 3 out of 5, and in some cases a few more, but about 4 out of every families traveled with a notebook computer of some type. And 2002 was the big change. Steve Jobs had a huge impact on this marketplace. Google, a big part of it too, but essentially it's these devices. They're what we call low-powered devices. They dramatically change what your guest is using. So now the guest is using a phone with Wi-Fi, or a tablet, or even a smaller tablet that sometimes is called a phone. Those devices, what makes them so powerful is the fact that their batteries are so small. They are so mobile. And their Wi-Fi is about 1/3 the power, and the third part of that is their Wi-Fi is even more intelligent. So instead of constantly talking on the network, they only respond about 1 out of every 3 or 4 times, unless they really are trying to move a lot of data themselves. The access points are constantly looking for them, and they're kind of deciding that they don't need to respond, which makes their batteries last 10 times longer based upon the fact that the battery of a notebook computer is almost this big in general. Now the batteries can last much, much longer. But the impact to you and your guest network is pretty dramatic. We go through what we call an AP density upgrade. The density of the APs needs to go from about 300-foot spacing down to less than 75 feet to be able to support talking to these things on a regular basis. The number of devices an AP needs to support, instead of used to be in 2002, the actual technology, APs could only support 20 devices. That was the nature of the solution. Now the APs need to be able to support 80 devices within that 75-foot circumference of guest rooms. It's an amazing number. The third part about it is that these are mobile, which means that the guest isn't setting up their laptop computer on a desk and leaving it there for 3 or 4 hours while they work. They're walking around the property, around your property with these things. And so your network has to be very intelligent, and your APs have to be able to switch off from one to the next as the client moves. So the matter of the fact is, you basically are coming back and you're almost installing about 3 times the number of APs as your original install. This is required, but it needs to be the right AP. It needs to be an AP that can handle the overall traffic, and it needs to be a part of an infrastructure that has a gateway that knows how to handle 1,700 devices connected to it at one time when it used to only see 60. That's what we do. We have an engineered solution. We're walking all of our properties through how to be a better property, what we need to do to take them forward, and how we need to prepare them for 2015. More devices, more technology, more bandwidth on every single device is necessary. But you don't necessarily need a big ISP. You don't necessarily need intelligent controllers, all of that. Some properties do. But what you really need are more access points in a more dense environment managed by a network operations center that understands how to control a guest environment. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope that this Tech Talk adds value to what we're doing for you. AP density is really the key.